When you picture a cat, what do you see? Maybe it's a little ball of fur, curled up in the sunlight, eyes half closed, paws tucked neatly under her chest. Maybe it's the gentle rhythm of purring that fills a quiet afternoon, or the way she stretches, so gracefully, as if the whole world exists just to please her. The indoor cat, the companion, the confidant, the quiet spirit of the home, seems to live a life of peace and safety. No cars, no cold nights, no hunger, no fear. Everything she needs is within four familiar walls. To most of us, that feels like love, that feels like protection. And yet, beneath that comfort, something quietly stirs, a question that is not easy to ask. Are our indoor cats truly healthier? It seems obvious at first. Indoors means safety, outdoors means risk. Inside, there are no speeding cars, no stray dogs, no harsh winters, no fleas, no fights. Cats who live inside generally live longer, often twice as long as those who roam outside. Their coats stay clean, their bodies unscarred. From the outside, it looks like a perfect trade, freedom for security, danger for care. But if we look closer, if we look beyond the comfort, we begin to see that health is not just about the absence of harm. It's also about the presence of vitality, stimulation, and joy. And in that light, the picture grows more complex. Cats, for all their softness, are not creatures built for stillness. Beneath the calm exterior lies a hunter's heart. Every cat, no matter how pampered, carries in her bones the memory of wilderness. She is designed to chase, to climb, to stalk, to explore. Her eyes are tuned to movement, her ears to the faintest rustle of prey, her muscles to the sudden burst of pursuit. These instincts do not fade just because we've brought her indoors. They only grow quieter, waiting for a chance to live. And that's where the danger lies, not in what we can see, but in what we can't. A cat kept safely indoors may be protected from the outside world, but sometimes she is also cut off from the world that gives her spirit meaning. Think of the average indoor cat's day. She wakes, stretches, eats, and then she waits. She watches from the window as birds flutter by, as shadows dance across the walls. She naps, she eats again, she watches some more. To us, this looks peaceful, but to her it can be an echo of something missing. Her mind was built for stimulation, for puzzle and pursuit. When those needs go unmet, a quiet restlessness can settle in. You might see it in small ways, scratching furniture, knocking things from shelves, sudden bursts of running through the hallway at midnight. Some call it mischief. In truth, it's instinct, with nowhere to go. The body remembers what the environment has forgotten, and over time, that stillness begins to show itself in the body too. Obesity has become one of the most common health issues for indoor cats. With constant food and little movement, their weight creeps upward, slowly but steadily. What starts as a little extra fluff can turn into diabetes, joint pain, heart disease. These conditions shorten lives, not with sudden tragedy, but with gradual decline. The same safety that keeps them alive also keeps them still. Then there's the hidden toll on the mind. Cats may not speak, but they feel deeply. Anxiety, boredom, even depression, these emotions are as real for them as for us. When a cat stares for hours at a door she cannot open, when she paces, or hides, or overgrooms, these are signs not of misbehavior, but of unmet need. Her world has become too small, and she is quietly trying to tell us. None of this means that cats should simply be turned loose outside. The dangers out there are real and unforgiving. Cars, toxins, predators, disease. These things have taken far too many feline lives. But what it does mean is that the answer isn't as simple as inside is good, outside is bad. The answer, perhaps, lies somewhere in between, in a balance that honors both safety and soul. So what does that balance look like? It begins with understanding that indoors does not have to mean enclosed. A cat's world can be small or vast, depending on what we put into it. Enrichment is the word that bridges that gap. It's a simple idea to fill a life not just with comfort, but with curiosity. To give her something to chase, something to climb, something to explore, even within our walls. It can be as simple as a window perch, where she can watch the world go by. A bird feeder outside the glass, to bring her a taste of the hunt. Shelves that let her climb to new heights. Puzzle feeders that make her work, just a little for her meals. Toys that move, toys that hide, toys that challenge her mind. Even your voice, your time, your play can turn stillness into something alive. Some families go further, creating enclosed outdoor spaces, catios, they're called, where cats can feel the wind, smell the earth, and watch the sky safely. Others train their cats to walk on harnesses, to explore gardens or parks with gentle guidance. These aren't luxury, they're lifelines, ways of giving back a piece of what domestication has taken away. Because while we've brought cats into our homes, we must never forget that their wildness is not a flaw, it's their nature, and our care should never mean stripping that nature away. There's also something else, something softer, that plays into this balance. Love. When we love someone, whether a person or a pet, it's natural to want to keep them safe. We build walls around them, we shelter them from harm. But sometimes, in doing so, we also shelter them from life itself. True care is not about removing every risk, but about creating space for fullness, for joy, for expression. When we look at our indoor cats and see them sleeping soundly, it's easy to believe that comfort equals happiness. But happiness for a cat, as for us, is more than ease. It's engagement, it's curiosity, it's the gentle satisfaction of instincts fulfilled. I once knew a cat named Luna. She was a soft gray tabby who lived entirely indoors, loved deeply by her family. She had the best food, the warmest bed, toys in every corner, but she would spend hours pressed against the window, her tail twitching, her eyes following every flutter of leaves. She was safe, yes, but she was also longing. Her family noticed, and one day, they built her a small screened balcony. The first time Luna stepped out, she froze, then lifted her face to the breeze. Her pupils widened, her whiskers quivered, and for a moment, she seemed to remember something ancient. It was as if she'd found a missing piece of herself. Luna lived many happy years after that. She remained healthy, calm, and curious, not because her family gave her freedom, but because they gave her a taste of life beyond safety. That's the lesson, I think, for all of us who share our homes with cats. We can offer them comfort, yes, but we must also offer them love. We must remember that health is not only about surviving, but about thriving. It's about waking up each day with something to do, something to feel, something to discover. And so when we ask, are indoor cats truly healthier? The answer is they can, but only if we see health not just as the beating of a heart, but as the fullness of a life. A long life means little if it is lived in quiet frustration. A safe life means little if it lacks joy. What cats need, as much as food and shelter, is the chance to be who they are. Hunters, explorers, climbers, observers, we can give them that, even indoors, if we choose to listen, to imagine, to care in a way that honors their spirit. Every cat is different. Some are shy and content with a window view, others are bold and crave adventure. There's no one way to do it right. The only wrong way is to stop noticing, to stop asking whether the life we've given them truly feeds their nature. And so maybe the question we should ask isn't, are indoor cats healthier, but rather, are indoor cats happy? Because health without happiness is a half measure of care. The hidden dangers of comfort are not always physical. They are the dangers of forgetting that safety, while precious, is not the same as fulfillment. We protect their bodies, but must also remember to nourish their minds. We give them walls, but must also give them wonder. The cat who lives inside can live a long, beautiful life, if we fill that life with meaning. If we watch her not as an ornament of the home, but as a living, breathing being, whose instincts are still alive. If we take her paw, gently, and meet her halfway between the wild and the warm. In the end, maybe that's what being a guardian truly means. Not just keeping them alive, but keeping them alive in every sense. Giving them room to play, to think, to feel, to chase, to climb, to... Because when a cat leaps after a toy, or gazes wide-eyed at the rustle of leaves, or curls against you with a purr that hums like gratitude, that is health, that is wholeness, that is a life worth living. So let's love our indoor cats, not with walls, but with window. Not with excess, but with experience. Not only with safety, but with spirit. Let's remember that comfort is only true comfort when it allows the soul to breathe. And if we can do that, if we can blend safety with stimulation, protection with purpose, then yes, our indoor cats will be truly healthy, not just in body, but in heart, in mind, enjoy. Because the greatest gift we can give them is not just a long life, but a life well lived. Thank you.